Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the JRPG Report. This is episode 224. My name is Dalton Suter, and I'm going to be upfront. It's probably going to be a bit of a light news week this week. There wasn't a whole lot out there, but there were a couple stories that were really big that I knew that y'all would want to hear about. So I figured I'll throw something together, and hopefully you all enjoy. And I hope that you all enjoyed the Sunday special as well this past weekend, where James came and filled us in on what he's been up to since passing the torch over to me, and me and him had a great JRPG-filled discussion, and that was a good time, and I'll have to have him on again soon. And of course, if you're a member of the Patreon and in the Discord, he is in there as well. You can at him and bug him whenever you want. He'll answer when he has time, I promise. But all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some news this week with Dragon Quest Treasures. Publisher and developer Square Enix and developer Tosei have updated the Japanese official website for Dragon Quest Treasures, with information on the game's story, world, and characters. A story overview is Eric and Mia, best friends and siblings who live on a Viking longship, are one day whisked away into another world by a pair of mysterious spirits. The world called Draconia is a legendary land where the 7 dragon stones and many treasures lie in wait. In a realm full of monsters, the siblings embark on the treasure hunting adventure they have always dreamed of. In Draconia, where the game is set, it is made up of islands with various climates, each inhabited by a wide variety of monsters. Eric and Mia, who gained the ability to communicate with monsters of this world through the power of the Dragon's Dagger, will befriend the monsters that inhabit this land and grow together while collecting the treasure waiting to be found there. And of course, Eric, the inquisitive, energetic, cool boy who lives on a Viking longship, and his younger sister Mia, he dreams of finding great treasure and making a fortune. And Mia is a cute, competitive girl who lives on the Viking longship along with her older brother Eric, and she loves treasure hunting, adventures, and hopes to someday find some real treasure. And Dragon Quest Treasures is due out for Switch on December 9th worldwide. Not a big news story, but something I thought that was pretty impressive was Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion has topped 3 million in sales. The new sales milestone comes just over 1 week after Capcom announced that total shipments had surpassed 2 million. So if you are one of the millions of people playing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, give me a tweet. Tell me how it is, because I've always had this outlying looking in on Monster Hunter, and I'm like, it looks really fun, but is it one of those games that I'm going to need some friends to play with, or can I just hop in and play it solo? Give me some feedback. I'd like to know that. So the Switch version of Koromon will launch on July 21st, publisher Freedom Games and developer Tradesoft announced. Koromon first launched for PC via Steam on March 31st, and I have played a demo of this game. It's a tremendous little Pokemon style game. Lots of fun if you're looking for something with that old school retro Pokemon look, but updated. It's really quite fun. In fact, here's a little overview for you. Set off on an unforgettable adventure as young apprentice Koromon trainer. Journey across the Vilua region, collecting fearsome yet adorable creatures with the latest creature-catching technology from the brilliant scientist Lux Solis. Along the way, stop a shady organization from releasing the dark power of the legendary Koromon Titans upon the world. Trek across numerous locales. I guess that would be locales. Yeah, English, Dalton. Trek across numerous locales brought to life with beautiful pixel art to assemble a squad from more than 120 different Koromon composed of various types, like sand, magic, foul, heavy, air, poison, among many others. Fight in tactical battles through puzzle-filled dungeons, roadside brawls, and multi-stage boss fights, and against 6 legendary titans threatening the Koromon's way of life. Return to the trainer hub after each battle to nurse the squad back to health before setting off once more. Grow and individually customize each of the Koromon's stat pools to create the perfect dream team for either casual or competitive play. Enjoy the way you want to play, with the use of 3 open save slots to endlessly experiment with different Koromon strategies and select between 4 distinct difficulty modes, including a built-in fan favorite Nuzlocke option. Craft a capable trainer at the start of their Koromon journey with a wide selection of physicals and fashion options. Take an enlightening personality test that matches trainers with the perfect starting Koromon partner, or just pick the coolest looking one. And that will be coming to Switch on July 21st, and you can get that on PC right now. So a little bit of news from the Sea of Stars camps. It has been delayed until 2023, but they did add a PS5 and PS4 version to the release along with Switch and Steam. So That's good for PlayStation players. So definitely keep an eye out for that whenever that drops in 2023. So interestingly, PlayAsia has listed Saga Frontier 2 for PlayStation 4 and Switch. The PlayStation 4 and Switch re-releases, which are currently unannounced, is listed with an expected release date of August 25th. The versions listed are Asia region, but include English language support. Saga Frontier 2 first launched for the PlayStation on April 1st, 1999 in Japan, followed by January 31st, 2000 in North America, and March 22nd, 2000 in Europe. A remastered version of the original Saga Frontier Remastered, who'd have thought that would be the name, launched for PlayStation 4, Switch, PC via Steam, iOS, and Android on April 15th, 2021. Here is the PlayAsia's description of Saga Frontier 2. Saga Frontier 2 introduces a complete renovation of the RPG genre. Traditional computer polygonal fixtures are replaced with lush, hand-drawn watercolor graphics supported by an awe-inspiring musical score, blending both freedom and linearity. This title utilizes multi-scenario systems, giving players unparalleled freedom in choosing which scenario they want to play, while other scenarios crisscross with one another. Complementing this feature are 3 innovative battle modes: duel, team, and strategic. Depending on the model selected, the player can control an individual character, a team, or several units to fight in battle, bringing depth and precision to the combat sequences. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes out for that. I played a little bit of the Saga Frontier Remastered at a buddy of mine's house, and it's pretty fun. So any more of that, I'm cool with. So a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 news, but don't worry, it's nothing to do with the story or anything, just the audio. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will support both English and Japanese language voice tracks upon launch. However, unlike Xenoblade Chronicles 2, players won't need a separate download to install their preferred voice track. Instead, the initial Xenoblade 3 game install is dual audio. This means that it contains both the voice tracks and will let you choose your preferred voice language from the outset. So that is pretty cool. That was just a little thing that I saw. I just thought, being able to have that choice, if you prefer, the Japanese language with the English subtitles, or if you like English with the subtitles or no subtitles, or whatever you prefer, you're going to be able to have that. And that's just super cool to me. It's beneficial for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to have dual audio options for voice acting. And after all, not every user has unlimited access to internet bandwidth, and that they may not be in the position to visit the eShop to queue up, an additional download. And you don't have much longer to wait. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will release on the Nintendo Switch July 29th, 2022. All right, I know I said it was a short episode, so here's the big meat on the bone, and let's go through the Final Fantasy news, because there is some decent stuff out there right now. So, the Square Enix blog is continuing its series of retrospectives on the development of Final Fantasy VII Remake. The latest installment covers Final Fantasy VII Remake Chapter 4. While Final Fantasy VII Remake is in large part a retelling of the original Final Fantasy VII, it takes extra time to expand on Cloud and the party's adventures in Midgar. As a result, the game does feature a significant amount of new content that expands on moments in the first iteration of the story. The blog delivers insights and comments on the chapter's development from scenario designer co-director Motomu Toriyama, game designer co-director Naoki Hamaguchi, facial director Akira Iwasawa, music supervisor Keiji Kawamori, sound director Makoto Ise, battle director Teruke Indu, and senior assistant producer Yuma Watanabe. Final Fantasy VII Remake Chapter 4 is titled Mad Dash. Oh, spoilers. If you have not played Final Fantasy VII Remake, this is spoilers for the Mad Dash section of the game. Just fair warning to you. Final Fantasy VII Remake 4 is titled Mad Dash and is notably all original to Final Fantasy VII's story. It takes place the night before Avalanche is to destroy Shinra Mako Reactor 5. While Tifa and Barrett rest, Cloud is approached by Jessie, who proposes a secret midnight outing to Jessie's parents' house in Midgar proper. Tagging along are Biggs and Wedge. The party gets into a running battle with Shinra's bike soldiers as well as with Roche, a soldier member. According to Toriyama, Final Fantasy VII Remake Chapter 4 was created with the objective of fleshing out the relationship between Cloud and Avalanche. In the original, Avalanche members besides Barrett didn't get much screen time or personality. In a remake, though, the players get to see the characters' quote-unquote private relationships and better empathize with them as the connection they've built. It also helps illustrate the connection between Barrett's Avalanche cell and the larger Avalanche organization. Hamaguchi revealed that Roche was originally intended to be a generic Shinra soldier, operative that acted as a boss for the G-Bike section of the chapter. However, The team felt it would be fun to have the boss recur for a second major encounter of the chapter, as the 7-6 Annex facility. It was then the team gave him a distinct personality, integrating him into Final Fantasy VII Remake Chapter 4's story. As a result, Roche became a breakout star of the moment, using his flamboyant G-bike maneuvers and freewheeling personality to steal his scenes and act as a foil to Cloud's taciturn disposition. So yeah, that was a cool little section out of that, talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, as we all wait with bated breath for more info on Part 2. But the big news. Crisis Core. Square Enix has shared new information on Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, including the game's story, characters, enhancements, and battle system. In 2007, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII released on PlayStation Portable, winning critical acclaim thanks to its heartfelt story, fast-paced, exciting combat, and close ties to Final Fantasy VII. Now the game is making a return on modern platforms with a massively enhanced and improved version of the game. This is so much more than a simple HD remaster. We're talking completely refreshed visuals, improvements to the game systems, a newly arranged soundtrack, additional dialogue, and more. With everybody caught up on the basics, let's talk about the story. It is 7 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII. The Shinra Company rules for the Mako-powered metropolis of Midgar with a frightening level of influence and military power. Parts of Shinra's military is Soldier, a group of elite warriors with incredible abilities. A soldier second class named Zack Fair is sent on a mission to investigate the disappearance of fellow soldier Genesis, along senior first class operatives Angel Hewley and the world-renowned hero Sephiroth. That's all we'll say for fear of spoilers, but suffice to say, this starts a tale that's dramatic, emotional, and has massive implications for the world and lore of Final Fantasy VII. Zack's prequel adventure is full of memorable characters as Final Fantasy VII itself. Here are just a few of the people you are going to meet along the way. Of course, you'll meet Zack, the protagonist of Crisis Core, and the upcoming Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. He's a cheerful, dynamic soldier second class who dreams of becoming a hero. He can sometimes act recklessly, but he has the inner strength to stand and face any difficulties in his path. Then you have Angel Hewley. Angel is Zack's mentor and a first-class soldier operative. He's reliable, grounded man with a sense of responsibility and trusted by all who know him. Angel always carries his gigantic Buster Sword on his back, but he very rarely ever uses it. He's also close friends with Sephiroth and Genesis. And Genesis is a soldier first class with his own unique sense of style and a great deal of admiration for the epic poem Loveless. He's a childhood friend of Angel, both coming from the village Barnora. Although he gets on well with his colleague Sephiroth, he also secretly harbors a strong sense of rivalry towards him. And last but not least, Sephiroth. A legendary hero and soldier first class, Sephiroth possesses greater strength than most operatives. He's respected and admired around the world. As a perfect being, he is somewhat difficult to approach. The only two people who are close to him are Angel and Genesis. Now to talk about some enhancements. All 3D character models, as well as UI and background graphics, have been completely remade for this new version of the game. The beautiful world of Final Fantasy VII, now rendered in HD, makes the story even more immersive than the game before. Camera and character movement have been vastly improved over the original, yet still maintains the fun feel that the core of the game was. The user interface has also been optimized for the latest hardware generations, and various skip features have been added for even more enjoyable and convenient gameplay experience. Many of the background music tracks have been given new arrangements by the original composer, Takaharu Ishimoto. What's more, full voiceover has been added to scenes that were previously text only, so you can now enjoy the entire story fully voiced. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion uses a combat system that combines command-based systems with action gameplay. Massive improvements to the controls and camera have evolved the action to create an even more thrilling experience than the original game. During battle, you take control of Zack and can attack enemies directly with his sword skills or by using preset magic and abilities from equipped materia. By learning the characteristics of each ability and utilizing them in the right situation, you can gain a great advantage in battle. If you've seen the trailer or you've glanced at the screenshots, you may have noticed the slot wheels up in the upper left corner. This is the Digital Mind Wave, or DMW. This is a unique mechanic that adds random elements to battle in Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. During battle, the slot wheels turn automatically, with a wide variety of different effects can be triggered by lining up different images and numbers. For example, Zack can get various stat boosts or unleash devastatingly powerful limit breaks, including Octa Slash. With this awesome attack, Zack lands 8 rapid sword strikes in the blink of an eye. It's triggered when images of Sephiroth are lined up on the DMW. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is due out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam this winter. Now, if you're wondering if this is gonna, if they're gonna change a bunch of stuff from the original, how is it going to affect the original? I have one last article for you. In IGN's interview with Square Enix, the Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion development team discussed its intentions behind certain decisions. Producer Mariko Saito and Yoshinori Kitase talked about how the game will be a remaster of the original as well. They said that while the story and core elements will remain faithful to the original, it is going to have updated graphics and a new voice cast, like we just previously discussed. The developmental team will overhaul the graphics of Crisis Core to match the standards of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the soundtrack will consist of new arrangements. The PC version in particular will target 120 frames per second. Yes! Score one for PC. The PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game will run at 60 frames per second, which is nothing to scoff at. Saito did not mention the Nintendo Switch version's target frame rate, though she did say it will run at different resolution. According to the development team, it wanted to make Crisis Core Remaster as accessible as possible, hence they are targeting a wide number of platforms. Regarding gameplay, while the DMW, which we just discussed, the digital mindwave system from Crisis Core, will remain the same, it will be easier to link Zack's attacks. One major change will be how you can use limit breaks. In Crisis Core Reunion, you will be able to use them at any time you want. Previously, you had to wait until they appeared in the DMW. So that's cool. So you can just go in and use, I'm assuming as long as you have the meter or whatever, you can use your limit breaks. The Japanese voice cast will remain the same. Gact will also return to his role as Genesis. However, the English version will now feature new voice actors. Rick Gomez will not be returning to voice Zack in Crisis Core, though Caleb Pierce already replaced him for his appearance in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Brianna White will return to voice Aerith after doing so for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And again, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII is available on the PSP, and Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion will come out on the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Windows PC in winter 2022. And I think that is going to about do it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for sticking around and listening. I would like to plug some stuff. First and foremost, I know I've been batting around the idea of doing a general gaming news show as well. And I am actually going to record that right after I'm done with this, and I'll probably make it release on the same day, so you'll get all your news on the same day. You can just listen to them whenever you'd like. It's going to be called General Gaming News with General Gamer, and that'd be me. So if you're interested in more non-JRPG related news, gaming news and stuff, and you would like to hear it from me, if you particularly like my voice or you like the way that I give the news, I don't know, you know what I'm saying. If you like that, then definitely check that out. I will be tweeting about it. But as far as the JRPG report stuff goes, I would like to say that if you'd like to find us on Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/the JRPG report. On Twitter, we are at JRPG report. And if you would like to be a supporter of the show, it really means a lot. It helps me pay bills, and it helps me keep the lights on and internet to keep this show running. Patreon.com/JRPG report. And I'd like to thank them all by names. So we'll go with that right now to my wonderful patrons: Kim C, Jake W, Jordan K, Kularian, Taylor F, Luke C, and Master Loot. Thank you all very much. And thank you, each and every one of you wonderful listeners, for tuning in. If you'd like more of me, like I said, I'm going to be doing the General Gaming News show. And also, I have a bi-weekly PC podcast, a PC gaming podcast called the Steam Machine Podcast. And our next episode is going to be Final Fantasy VII, which I'm having a blast with. And speaking of having a blast, I hope you all have had a blast this week and you roll into your weekend having a great time. And I want to say thanks again for James joining me on the Sunday special this past week. It seems like everyone has enjoyed it. It's been doing very well. So thank you all for that. Thank you all for listening to this week. And do me the biggest favor. Get back out there and level up.